So we're seeing civs get weaker and weaker, as well as obviously in turn seeing other nations get bigger and bigger. And this is kind of a reoccurring theme in these AI-only battles. But because everything is in essentially a Pangea map, it makes things way more crazy because we have way bigger nations bordering each other with massive, massive militaries.
So anyways, let's go ahead and check on the info addicts. I promised you guys I'd check on the info addicts because it's been a little bit. It's been some time. So in terms of population, the Sioux are absolutely dominating now with double the second place person. And actually, the Anishinaabe are in second place. So that was pretty big that the Anishinaabe didn't lose any cities to Washington when America did declare war. Because if that happens, well, first of all, America would have gained a whole bunch of power. But at the same time, the Anishinaabe would have kind of lost a lot of their troops. So I'm kind of I guess I should really look at the Anishinaabe a little bit more because they have a huge empire. I mean, the third place are the Iroquois, and all their cities are only contributing 16 million people. Whereas the Anishinaabe only have 4 cities, I believe, and they have 26 million people. So it's pretty crazy. The Shoshone are doing good. Canada's doing pretty good too. That's pretty dang good also. The Anishinaabe and Canada both being among the tall nations in this map. Anyways, let's check on crop yield. Of course, the Sioux are probably going to be at the top for just about everything, and they're definitely double crop yields. The second place person, and that's the Iroquois. France is kind of right behind, maybe 50 crop yield points, whatever this unit number is, behind the Iroquois, but still interesting. Manufactured goods, the Sioux, once again, still dominating, but the Shoshone are right behind. GNP, oh my goodness. So pretty much the Sioux are almost twice as strong as in every single category. At least that's the vibe I'm getting as of right now. GNP is pretty insane. Spain is doing pretty good with money. That's Spain. I guess that makes a little bit of sense with their. They probably already found all their natural wonders though, so I don't know. Land area is really close. Well, the Sioux are still dominated, but the Shoshone are right behind. The Iroquois are kind of right behind. I could see the Shoshone and the Iroquois catching up, as well as France. These are the biggest nations. These are the big 4 that I've been talking about. The Sioux, the Shoshone, the Iroquois, and France. Zaptec doing pretty good too, surprisingly. I didn't really realize that. But then again, yeah, because they're going more and more towards western U.S. here, and more towards California. But I don't know. It seems like their colonization has kind of stopped. They're not expanding their tribal lands anymore. Anyways, let's go to military manpower. Of course, the Sioux. But you know what? Look at this. Whoa! The Mayan are actually in second place with only 5,000 less men. But we talked about this. Remember, the Mayans have kind of got a lot of their forces split up because Napoleon did not offer the Mayan emperor, the Mayan emperor, again, the open borders that they had before. So, a big massive force from the Mayans were moving through Napoleon's territory, and then all of a sudden we saw, I think I remember seeing the turn where the open borders agreement ended. And I think I'm pretty sure they were going for Spain, and then boom, Napoleon was just like, "Nah, I don't want to get that deal back up. I don't feel like it anymore." And as you can see, the Mayans kind of have a scattered military, but I'm shocked the Mayans have that big of a military. That's pretty good. Maybe they still have a chance. I don't know. Maybe they still have a chance if they unite. If they unite to their capital, they could be a pretty good force to be reckoned with. England's doing pretty dang good, and I think it's because England's so high in technology. They were among the first, I think, to build an air force, which was pretty impressive. Canada, 4th place, and the Zaptec in 5th. Wow, the Shoshone are down at the bottom, but that's because they've been investing a lot of their units in the north with the Chinook. Iroquois are doing good, France is doing good, but France has lost a lot as well because of taking those 2 Cree cities, and the Cree were pretty strong. Where actually is the Cree military? Wow, it dropped a lot. The Cree dropped all the way to 13th spot. They're barely over 100,000 men. Wow. Well, this is important, though. The Sioux do not have significantly bigger military size. So that's a really, really big deal, especially because the Sioux are a separate ideology. So maybe some of these big freedom nations are going to team up and take out Sitting Bull. It's possible. It's possible. Literacy doesn't matter. Approval doesn't matter. Social standings, the Sioux, the Dene, the Shoshone, the Canadians, the Mayans. Kind of top 5 in terms of over 20 policies adopted. France is in the 6th spot, but that's kind of normal. Anyways, happiness. England's doing great. The Chinook have lost a lot of units or cities, so I guess that makes a little bit of sense. Let's see who's doing the worst. America. Wow. Why? Why is that? They must have no tourism, I'm guessing. The Mayans are not doing so good either. The Shoshone, Mexico, the Zaptec, and the Iroquois are actually all in the negatives. Never seen this before. I don't know. That's just incredible to see 6 nations in negative happiness. Just not something we normally see in these campaigns. Technologies, currently I'm winning. France is technically number 1. The Anishinaabe right behind. And that makes sense because remember, the Anishinaabe have a huge population in their empire. So, but I'm shocked that France still holds that number 1 spot. They're actually 2 techs behind, 2 techs ahead of the Sioux, which is important, which is really important. Yeah, and like I thought, England is doing good in military. And they're probably going more for an air force. That's why they built up planes before anybody else did. Net golds doesn't really matter, but yeah, the Sioux, then Spain. Cities, technically the Sioux has surpassed as the widest empire in the world, but France and the Iroquois are tied. Shoshone are right behind them in that 4th place spot. Science doesn't matter, culture doesn't matter. Wonders, the Shoshone. Okay, I didn't know the Shoshone were actually number 1. Then the Canadians in the 2nd spot with 6. Sioux are doing good. America's doing good. Total faith, Spain. And that's all I really care about. Great works, I guess. The Shoshone. Tourism is actually more important than Shoshone. Okay. And the Sioux, that's how they're able to hold on to this ideology because they have the 2nd most tourism in the entire world. So it makes a lot of sense that they're able to resist any possible revolutions. Anyways, let's continue onward. Let's see what's going on here. Okay, so what are you going to do now, France? Ooh, now that is a big one. The Iroquois have declared war on the Anishinaabe. The Zapotec have decided to show some support for their friends in the east, even though they're not going to be able to contribute that much. Now, where is the Iroquois army at? Seems like the military is pretty small under Hiawatha's control, but then again, the Anishinaabes' military is pretty small. And I have no idea what Canada's doing, but it looks like they're definitely going after this northernmost Anishinaabe city. It might not be the case. Maybe they're going after, the Iroquois. They might be just passing through. It is possible. The AI does, in fact, pass through. I will say that. It's not total BS. The AI sometimes passes through. Okay, we just checked on happiness, so yeah, nothing big there. France is peaced out with the Cree. That's what I figured. Sioux have denounced the Zapotec, and the Deni have denounced the Mayans. So how are the Sioux doing? Looks like the Sioux are going to grab one more city from Deni. Probably more than just that, but I mean, like, they're probably going to capture the city in two turns. I'm going to say 1 turn, actually. Yeah, because they've got artillery helping out from the outskirts of the city bombardment. Pretty smart of the AI. It's weird. Sometimes I feel like some AIs just do better than others. And I'm not talking about because of unique abilities or unique buildings or unique units. I think sometimes just some AIs are smarter than others. And maybe it's not that they're smarter, it's just that they use more traditional human strategies. Because maybe that's, programmed into the flavors of certain AI leaders. That's just my opinion, though. I've noticed that. I'm not talking about like the case for the Shoshone, or I'm sorry, the Zulu. The Zulu are not in this match, but the Zulu always dominate because of the MPs. Why are the MPs so powerful, and why do the Zulu always do amazing in every single game? That's because the AI doesn't have to have a brain to be able to use the MPs to their full potential. You know what I mean? They do a ranged attack before they do a melee attack. So the AI doesn't know that. They're just attacking anything. So they can't be too dumb, and they can't really mess that up. So that's part of the reason why, whereas like the same doesn't go for Mongolia. Mongolia has the Kashik. Any human player is able to dominate as Mongolia because the Kashik are just so awesome. They can shoot and run. But AI Mongolia never really gets ever as wide as the Zulu. Anyways, world leader votes. I don't think Canada's going to win this one. Pretty interesting that Canada would not have won like a few turns later for that second world leader vote. Okay, so Napoleon looks like they're plotting a sneak attack against somebody else. Don't know who it's for. Maybe it's the Sioux. Maybe it's Mexico. I don't know. They're bordering a lot of people now. They're certainly bordering a lot of people, and I think the borders are looking nice. The borders are looking nicer and nicer. A lot of the forest tiles are being removed, which is kind of a good thing if you like AI war. The less forest tiles, it makes it a lot easier for an AI to navigate. That's why I removed mountains. I removed mountains in some AI campaigns because mountains just, I don't know, they really, really mess up the programming of, I guess, the artificial intelligence here. France and Canada signed a research agreement, and the Cree has publicly denounced France. Okay. Okay, and yeah, Canada did not win, but don't they get an extra vote now? Yeah, they get 2 extra. So they would have won again, but they would still have 20 turns. Still interesting. I don't think anyone was going to be able to pull away. Leicester had that in the bag from the very beginning. I don't even know how I didn't catch that. I don't know how I didn't catch that. I wasn't expecting that the world leader votes. I feel like they should. That should be a human option. The human player should be the one to tell you exactly how many votes you should need in the world leader the world vote. Seems okay to me. So I don't know what Canada's doing. I thought that Canada was going after the Anishinaabe, but I guess not. Maybe they are trying to actually pass through. Maybe they're going for the Iroquois. Now, the Iroquois haven't done anything to the Anishinaabe just yet. I don't see much of anything. And the triplanes and the Great War Bombers are really, really helping out Pontiac. And because even though he doesn't have that many land units, the bombardment from the air is making things a lot easier. So that's something to keep in mind. How's America doing? America's got their great war infantry, but those are kind of lagging. Yeah, we've got infantry in the north. I guess Canada's also got they only have great war infantry as well. Maybe they're going for the Cree. Maybe that's what they're doing. Yeah, maybe, I don't know. Maybe they're just finding some interesting paths. Okay, boom. I guess I must have missed the notification telling me that the Sioux have taken over this Denny city. And the Denny are down to 4 cities left, where the Chinook are down to 3. Now, you got to fear here, if the Shoshone don't take over these 3 cities in the north, then more than likely the Sioux will take it over. Because the Sioux are just declaring war on their weakest neighbors, which is smart of an AI, really, really smart. But still, the Shoshone have got to get their stuff together. And I understand the problem is that the Shoshone just don't have the amount of production that Sitting Bull does. But still, Pocatello, you got to get your stuff together, man. You gotta, I don't know, build some workshops and build some, I don't know. I don't think you don't have uranium, right? I don't know. I can't remember, but build some factories and stuff like that. Increase your production, build military, use all that gold, and take over those final Chinook cities and prepare yourself because you're about to border the Sioux. So what happens? Sitting Bull is secretly plotting against France. Ooh, that's interesting. And France is plotting against Hiawatha. So that's what I'm saying. Now that the big 4 are kind of, they're not all bordering each other, but we have France bordering the Iroquois, France bordering the Sioux. Technically, the Sioux are almost bordering the Iroquois. Ooh, France has built the Apollo program. Napoleon has the Apollo program. Let's go ahead and double check. Can't remember if they have access to uranium. I believe they do. I thought they did. Or at least they can get access to it pretty easily. Again, this doesn't mean that much because the AI can always trade for it technically. But I'm not sure exactly how the AI works when it comes to trading with other AIs. Obviously, they do it with human players. They'll come up to you and ask you, hey, can I have this or whatever. I'm not sure what happens with AI to AI because you don't ever get notifications, which I think you should. I'd be interested to see the trade agreements with AIs. That'd be really cool, actually. Hiawatha's secretly planning against Elizabeth. That's going to be a tough one because Elizabeth's got some science on her hands. Yep, the Iroquois are going to continue to expand. Looks like the Iroquois have at least 1 plane so far. The Anishinaabe are actually going after their own offensive move. Washington has pieced out the Aztecs. Good for the Aztecs staying around for this long. See, that's what I don't know. Northern Mexico needs to unite. Honestly, the best thing for Northern Mexico would be for the Mayans to take over the Zaptec and the Aztec. Because, the Mayans somehow still, they have a huge military. We got to remember that. They've got a huge military. At least they did. I'm not sure if they do anymore. It doesn't look like it. It looks like the Sioux are still significantly bigger, but we'll have to wait and see. I don't know. Yeah, the Sioux are definitely significantly bigger. I mean, the AI is able to attack 2 different, squads are able to attack 2 different cities. You don't normally see that from an AI, unless they have a massive force that they're sending out. So, I don't know. That's pretty impressive. I am pretty impressed, Sitting Bull. That's something that, I don't know. I'm just not used to. Okay, so France has declared war on England. Now, what does this mean? That doesn't really mean anything. Now, why did they do that, though? And again, I'm wondering if England's ever going to utilize that huge navy that they've built up. France has also declared war on the Mayans, but they... Well, no, that's a big deal. Whoa, that's a big deal. But where are your forces at? They're kind of split up, and that's smart because you needed to be able to defend all different sides of the empire. That's a pretty smart move. World ideology autocracy. Are you really going to try that? Who's trying that? That's definitely... I believe that's the Sioux, right? They're the only people that have chosen autocracy. Oh, it's right here. No, that's Mexico. And then embargo the Aztecs. Man, I feel like the AI shouldn't be ganging up on small nations like this. They should be, if anything, if a nation is down to 1 city, they should be helping them out. At least maybe towards the end of the game. I guess I get it when, medieval times, Renaissance. Somewhat I could argue the Renaissance, but still very weird. The Anishinaabe and the English have now declared their own war. So now the Anishinaabe are at war with the Iroquois and the English. I'm not sure what Canada's doing. Still, we have no idea. I think the Anishinaabe are technically still at war with the Cree, but again, not 100% about that one. I don't know for sure if that if they didn't peace out or not. I don't know. The Cree, the Cree really missed out on an opportunity. They didn't build a navy themselves either. They would have had a really good job, a really good time. Maybe taking over a few, I don't know, a few ships, a few cities with some of the ships. I mean, because what, these battleships, that's not too much. Carrier, 2 battleships, you guys could do it. Okay, so let's see what the spy is saying. What do you got here? Seeing Bull is plotting against Denny still, even though they're at war. I don't understand that, but okay. Seeing Bull's building up a sneak attack. We have the America once again plotting against Pontiac, and then Washington's building up a sneak attack. Okay. So maybe there's a coalition against the Anishinaabe. Maybe that's what we're seeing here. Because we have multiple wars, multiple proximity wars that have spawned up. But the Anishinaabe are still doing good, so I don't know. I still see a force. I don't think it's going to be just an all-out, uh-oh. How long have we known that the Denny have just now dropped to 3 cities? And unfortunately, for the Shoshone, now the Shoshone have decided to join in. The Cree have joined in too, but that doesn't matter. Now, the Shoshone are kind of preoccupied with the North. I think they'd have a much easier time tackling the Denny, though. Obviously. The Chinook have stayed around for so long. They have their unique boats up. They have a great war infantry up. They have an artillery protecting their capital. All this stuff that's going on. Denny and Canada signed a declaration of friendship. Canada and America, research agreement. Spain and Anishinaabe, declaration of friendship. And in the next video, I'm thinking, I know some of you guys have been wanting it. Let's go and check on social policies. We have not checked on that in a while, and it is always interesting to see what AIs choose, what social policies. Actually, you know what? I also want to check religion in the next one. We haven't focused on religion too much, and this has been a pretty fast campaign, but religion is always fun. Especially because, those leaders, those holy cities that control like a really dominant religion tend to be very powerful. I wouldn't be surprised if the Anishinaabe, do they have their own religion, and is it really powerful? No. Protestantism has completely taken over, though. I didn't realize that. I think Protestantism is everywhere. We have a few, I believe this is Hinduism. Spain is now joined in against the Denny. Pocatello is plotting against the Aztecs. And Napoleon is plotting against, France and America. Oh, that makes sense, yeah, because you want Los Angeles, and you want San Francisco. Okay, yeah, okay, you should probably do that. Well, wait, I don't know. You should probably wait for your borders to get a little bit closer. Don't just jump into that sort of thing. I don't think that's the right idea. England's announced the Denny. And we have Spain versus Canada. Spain versus France. I've been waiting for that for a while. Wait a second. Now, how long has Barcelona fallen? It must have just fallen. I'm thinking. They have resistance for 21 turns. Yes, Barcelona just fell to the Iroquois. Okay, so that kind of makes the French-Spanish War is kind of insignificant now. Because unless they have open borders through Iroquois territory, which I seriously doubt, because I don't think these two nations like each other. Also, the Kremlin has been built by Pontiac. The Sioux have denounced publicly denounced the Shoshone. Ooh, yes, that's what I want to see. That is what I want to see. Sitting Bull, plotting against the Chinook. Okay, so what does this mean for Spain? England could probably try to... Oh, I didn't realize this. They did settle on these islands. They didn't go for the southern tip of Florida. They didn't go for like a Miami City. Oh, this is really cool. Now this is getting really cool because now it's at the end of the game and tensions are building. Militaries are huge. The Iroquois are going to settle closer, even closer to the Sioux, giving them an immediate border just north of Akron. We have the Shoshone and Spain, now friends. And yeah, we have nations now. We have a few tall nations, but I don't know if they're going to be able to keep up with the wide nations. The longer we go on in this campaign, the more the wider nations pull away. Because as I said, AIs don't function as well when playing tall. World Ideology Autocracy, can't wait to see how this goes. Not going to make any votes, as well as the embargo of the Aztecs might possibly happen. But anyways, guys, I'm going to have to stop right there. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys next time.